iRacing is a sim racing game that combines a true-to-life racing experience with an online community of virtual racers from all around the globe. iRacing offers a multitude of officially licensed cars and tracks, laser scanned with millimeter accuracy. Their car models and mechanical systems are based on real-world physics, engineered in cooperation with manufacturers and race teams. Their skill license system ranges from rookie to pro, ensuring members are always pitted against those with similar skill sets. Members are able to sign up for a weekly race series, compete in time trials, host a private race with friends, and participate in racing leagues created and run by the community. With over 170,000 members, iRacing works in partnership with renowned motorsports organizations like NASCAR to deliver virtual races based on the real-life NASCAR Cup Series, as well as many other series on the NASCAR ladder. iRacing also features team racing, providing a variety of options for members to create and manage their own teams. Race with friends or real-world teammates in full-length endurance events like the 24 Hours of Daytona, Spa 24, or the Bathurst 12 Hour. Additional partners include IMSA, World of Outlaws, Supercars, and IndyCar, allowing members to race in their very own Indianapolis 500, Bathurst 1000, Chili Bowl, and many more iconic events. This is iRacing, delivering the most authentic racing experience short of getting into a real race car. Sign up today at iRacing.com.
The most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic real-world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $400,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
Welcome in here, race fans, to the Las Vegas Motor Speedway in Las Vegas, Nevada. It is the RB Custom Rig Scrambler Series presented by Red Light Racing. You're watching the Turn 3 Racing Network here tonight, home of Red Light Racing. I'm your host, Roger Muth, high above the sky here from our virtual Turn 3 Racing Network studios, bring you all the racing action. It's been a great racing season so far, and we've had a handful of different winners. Tonight, we will go gambling here at the Las Vegas Strip. Las Vegas has had some great races in the real-world side of things. $1 million races with Jeff Burton, Jeff Gordon, and, well, the Gander Outdoor Truck Series. They come here a handful of times a year, and back in 2019, Kyle Busch was able to set the quick time in qualifying with a 30.184 second lap. Tonight, right now, one of the drivers out of the, well, we're called the Midwest. It's the Oklahoma boy of Travis Mintos, currently on our provisional pole. It is a 30.92, so a little bit off that record pace by Kyle Busch. But, well, there's a couple more drivers that have yet to go. We're just a little over halfway in our qualifying session. We already talked about, well, it's been a good season so far, and a handful of different winners. Winners this season, James Skellin, He's bagged himself 2 wins this season. Max Terrill, he has one. James Heater, he has another one. DJ Anderson, and how about last week's winner? He drives the number 15. It is Dustin Gainey. He was in the right place at the right time at the Talladega Super Speedway back when we rolled out the 1987 Winston Cup machines, and he put his best Bill Elliott impression on and put the hammer to the floorboards, and, well, he was able to come away with a last lap victory. So congratulations still again to Dustin Gainey. He must still be celebrating because I do not see him in this race here currently. He does have about a minute and 10 seconds to log himself in here. But right now, I do not see him. But those 5 drivers that we just talked about, Skelton, Tyrrell, Heater, Anderson, and Gainey, they right now have clinched a playoff berth here going into the postseason, which is just 4 races away if you still count this Las Vegas Motor Speedway race, because, well, we haven't gone racing yet. Other drivers that are inside that bubble, those names are Jason Wells, Joe Strano, Richard Murdoch, Jeffrey Souza, Michael Trevarthen, Chris Hammett, Ryan O'Donnell, Tim Combs, and Zach Mitchell. Travis Minto is right there on that bubble line. We'll see if he can keep himself above it, or if he can actually jump above it, I should say. He's just a couple of points down. Right now, it's 1 point out of that transfer spot into a postseason berth. But, well, 5 races in, 6 races actually in. They do have a drop week, so, well, we're going to see here in the next handful of races who's able to lock themselves in and who will have to play for best of the rest here. Qualifying, though, officially coming to a close here. It looks like about 21 drivers have turned a lap here at the Las Vegas Motor Speedway in our qualifying session. That means it's only one thing to do, and that's get ready to go racing here tonight, race fans, here at the Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Cars are going to start to assemble up there on the banking. Let's take you through your starting lineup tonight, presented by the Green Forest Tree Supply. Green Forest Tree Supply has your trees that you need to make your yard looking luscious. Head on over to the Green Forest Tree Supply today and get your tree. This is your starting lineup, though. Starting P number 1, ripping off his quick time here tonight, it's the Oklahoma driver, the 919 of Travis Minto. Starting P number 2 out of South Carolina, driving the Adventure in Pixel 01, it's Richard Murdoch. Rolling off P number 3 here tonight, hailing out of Canada, driving the MK Medic number 42, it is Max Terriol. Starting in position number 4, driving the number 43 for the Green Forest Tree Supply entry, the Strano Brothers Racing, Joe Strano. Driving the number 62, Eco Hawk Motorsports number 62, this is Ethan Troutman. He'll roll off 5th. 6th will go to the other Canadian resident, the Rev Esports Racer, the 907 of Tim Williams. Starting in the 7th position, also hailing out of Canada, driving the 938, one of those rookie candidates, this is the Beefy Motorsports of Brendan Feeney. Starting in the 8th position, it's the number 33, Dirty Mo Radio, number 33 of Eric Johnson. He'll go 8th. 9th, we'll go to the Virginia native, the 999s of Mark Jenkins. Rounding out the top 10, driving the 906 rookie candidate, this is Chris Hammett. Out of Virginia, driving the number 51 Mountain Dew Baja Blast entry, this is DJ Anderson. Starting in position number 12, it's the RV Custom Rigs number 30 of Justin Gann. That's your top 12 drivers. Starting just outside the top 12, 13th here tonight, driving the number 24, the young man, Zach Mitchell. Starting 14th, the driver out of Georgia, driving the number 77 Simbox Motorsports Simbox machine, this is Doug Neal. Rolling off 15th on the grid, out of Charleston, South Carolina, driving the 86, it is James Skelton. Sean Single out of Ayer, Massachusetts will go off into the 11th spot here tonight. He's driving the 11. He'll start 16th. It's going to be the 59 of Bruce Potter. Then starting 17th, Ryan O'Donnell in the Full Throttle Racing Turbo Dork Paint entry. He'll roll off 18th. 19th will go to the number 3 of Tony Strano. Then it'll be Rob Jenkins out of Virginia driving the 989 machine. Rob Higgins, the Higgins Hill Racing Checkered Flag Auto Supply number 40 will go 21st. 22nd will go to the Alienware number 64 of Jason Wells. Starting back into the 23rd position, it's the 909 machine. Thomas Talon Hill to actually drop to the back of the field here tonight to take the green flag. Michael Trevarthen in the 31 just picked up a silly season win on Sunday. He'll roll off 24th. 25th to go to Granny Hips Buckley himself. 26th to Christopher Rothrock, the driver out of Pennsylvania. Tim Combs will start the number 17 here tonight in the 27th position. It's the Australian native, the 184 of Kevin O'Brien. He'll roll off 28th. 29th will go to Bob Higgins. That is your 29-car field here from the Las Vegas Motor Speedway. We are getting ready to go racing here tonight. This is a day race here at Las Vegas. Hope you race fans are all ready. It'll be Travis Minto, Richard Murdoch that will lead us into turn number 1 for the first time here tonight. The iRacing.com Ford Mustang pace car is off the racing surface. Let's go racing here in Sin City. The green flag is up. We are racing. Put 90 laps on the board here tonight. Great start by Travis Minto. He'll lead us down into turn number 1. He's got the 42 of Max Terriot right there, hot to trot behind him. What does the Norman, Oklahoma driver have here tonight for the wily veteran from Canada as he leads down the back straightaway? That is Travis Minto. He'll put the two Chevrolets side by side, the 42 of Max Terriot, and then that's going to be the 01 of Richard Murdoch. Murdoch a little sideways. Murdoch made contact. Here comes Joe Strano. They're going to make it 3 wide off the corner. Strano going to pick up a spot. Here comes the 62 of Troutman. Here comes Tim Williams in the 907 entry. Brandon Feeney also is hanging right there. Everybody fighting for position. Here comes the 42 to the outside for the race lead down the back straightaway. Will Max Terriot be able to take the race lead from the outside? Travis Minto is on the inside of the track here with his Gatorade machine. Gatorade's good, but water is better, Max Terriot says. Terriot will go to the point. He'll lead lap number 2. Here comes Joe Strano now. Richard Murdoch still trying to fight to stay inside the top 5. Right now, that's the battle between him and Troutman. Currently, both drivers holding down the top 5 position. But man, Tim Williams is bad fast here. There's that number 40. 907 entry of Tim Williams here tonight. Travis Minto, brother of Brandon Minto, who's not here tonight. Watching from down in Texas, a snowstorm knocking out the power down there. Both all our friends in Texas are doing well. Brandon Feeney having himself a Cheez-It kind of night. Right now, Brandon Feeney in that Cheez-It Chevrolet. Inside the top 10, DJ Anderson, though, with his Mountain Dew Baja Blast number 51 working down to the inside of the speedway. Oh, looking to pick up that spot, has not quite cleared, as actually is Brandon Feeney going back around him. Eric Johnson dropping a couple positions here, started 8th, he's fallen back now to running at about the 10th position. Look at everybody still bob and weave down the back straightaway. They are still trying to find where they want to run tonight. Long race here tonight as Joe Strano battling for the race lead out of turn number 4. Will he be able to take it to the point here? Drag race start finish line, heads up race. It'll be Max Terriot still leading tonight here in Las Vegas. Drivers can clear each other right now. It looks like Joe Strano gets the bottom to work through the center of the corner, but the momentum carries on the outside lane. Chevrolet is dominating right now. The top 11 positions here tonight are driven by Chevrolet drivers. James Skelton is the first driver that's back here running in the 12th position as he's battling with Sean Single, the Ford driver. Handful of Fords running about mid-pack right now. Every driver running on the same setup. Close moment there for this driver. This is the 906 of Chris Hammett. He's got that Toyota lined up down to the inside. That's the RB Custom Rigs number 30 of Justin Gann. Right behind him, that's the Turbo Dork entry of Ryan O'Downey. He has been on a tear here, moving up a couple positions since the drop of the green flag, when he almost actually got into the back of that 906 of Chris Hammett that time, entering turn number 3. They're both able to gather their wits and keep on going. Ryan now going to work to the inside of his 98 entry. Driver out of Canton, Michigan. Looks like something happened to the 31 of Michael Trevarthen. He is off the speedway currently. Heard there's electrical issues in that camp. Now Max Terriot still able to hold the race lead here. As that's looking back. There's Richard Murdoch, Ethan Troutman, Joe Strano, and Tim Williams. They control the top 5 positions here tonight. 29 trucks did take the green flag here in Las Vegas. 28 trucks are still out there circling the speedway. 1 truck off track, and that is the driver of that 31. Here comes Tim Williams. He took a peek to the inside underneath the 43 of Joe Strano. Was not able to do anything with it, though. Brandon Feeney still inside the top 10 here. DJ Anderson working the outside of the speedway. Ready to see him as they come Down the back straightaway, DJ Anderson will now officially clear, and now Eric Johnson saw what DJ Anderson was able to do on the outside of the speedway. He climbs the track with that dirty low radio. Trying to bring along the young gun, Zach Mitchell, back here. Mitchell has picked up one spot since the draft, the green flag, the driver out of Farmington, Minnesota. Look at James Skelton, though. He's picked up 2 wins so far this season. Kind of had himself about a mid-pack lackluster qualifying attempt from the driver out of Carolina. That's South Carolina. Running 10. James Skelton currently is our biggest mover of the race. Rothrock looking to pick up a spot in the Renaissance Nutrition Got Milk entry. He's moved up 4 spots now as he goes around Bruce Potter in that 4, number 59. Potter has been falling like a rock here in the early stages with that quick lane, number 59. It's a beautiful paint scheme on that Ford F-150. Because right now he is out in front of the number 2 of Joshua Buckley. Tim Combs back here, a little bit deeper in the field than what he would like. There's actually damage on that number 17. That's the Mopar Chevrolet, driven by Combs. You see a little right front damage on him. Not sure where the damage came. Buckley has a little similar damage in that number 2 entry who's just out in front of him. Driver out of Pepperell, Massachusetts, the 35-year-old just got his brand new sim racing chair, and boy has this man been ecstatic about it. Before pre-race, he was sitting there in his chair. He was falling asleep. I heard him snore a couple times, but he did wake up just in time to take the green flag here tonight. Qualified back into the 25th position. He's currently working into the 24th spot. James Skelton, though, continuing to put on a blistering pace here tonight as he goes around what was our pole setter, Travis Minto. Minto has dropped back 8 positions since the drop of the green flag. James Skelton has moved up 7. 14 laps officially completed, and they have all been led by that man right there, 42 of Max Tyrrell. He's setting a blistering pace. He has about a second lead over Richard Murdoch, and then it's Troutman, Strano, and Williams. Running still in your top 5 positions. Just outside the top 5, it's the 999 of Mark Jenkins, the Jenkins Construction LLC. Chevrolet, driver out of Virginia. It's his rookie campaign year this season here on Monday night with the RB Custom Rig Scrambler Series for Red Light Racing. Taking a peek at the point stand as he comes into the night, running back into the 25th position. Hasn't been able to break into that top 5 or the top 10s yet this season. Does have himself a bonus point for leading a handful of laps, but right now he is sitting about 50 points below the cutoff line. There you see Joe Strano working to the inside here of that green Chevrolet, number 62 of Ethan Troutman. You know, something we haven't talked about out of the Tennessee camp here for Troutman in a while is, well, next week is a road course when we head to the Sonoma Raceway. And man, if you guys remember back, just I believe it was 3 seasons ago, 1 year ago actually now. We do run a handful of seasons throughout each calendar year. Remember back to the Roval? Well, Troutman wishes I would just forget about the Roval at this point. Because boy, was it a rough night for the driver out of Tennessee. So now we're going to see next week when we do head to Sonoma what kind of skills Troutman has at the wine country twists and turns. Right now, though, Troutman running into position number 5. Scheduled stop here for the driver out of Canada, as it'll be the 938 of Brandon Feeney. He'll come to pit road. The race leaders will come off turn number 4. There is Max Terriol. He has led every lap since the drop of the green flag, and all these drivers have still been in tow. DJ Anderson trying to get around the number 11 of Sean Single. Or actually, Single's going around the outside of him right now. One of them into the outside wall. That's the number 30 of Justin Gann. Gann into the outside wall. The RV Custom Rigs entry. The driver out of Virginia Beach. see if that damage plays a big factor. He had the fastest lap time in our practice session. We see DJ Anderson really pushing on the back bumper of number 11. Sean Singer, driver out of Ayer, Massachusetts. Rev Esports, BK Paints, Platinum RV and Services, Mechanic Advisor number 11 here tonight in Las Vegas. Picking up 6 spots. Sean Singer's goal on Thursday nights was to get himself into the championships, talk, and unfortunately the young man out of Ayer came up a couple positions short. Doug Neal coming to pit road in his sim box number 77, the driver out of Georgia, will make his way to pit road. Bob Higgins also just getting done with his pit stop, 15.8 seconds in his box, and Brandon Feeney was a 14.9, so 3 drivers now have officially made their way onto pit road. Expecting the next handful of drivers here in about, call it between 2 and 5 laps. We're going to start to see a bunch of our front runners, I believe, peel off and come to pit road. Richard Murdoch comfortably sitting about a second and a half back off Max Terriel. Joe Schrandel's still there. A little bit of a gap to Tim Williams. Mark Jenkins, your top 5. Look, James Skelton. We keep bringing it back to this 86. Well, that's because every time I look over at the timing and scoring, it lights up in green. And when it lights up in green, that means you got one of the fastest laps on the track. And Skelton here on this long run here on lap number 21 actually just ran one of his quickest laps of the race. As here comes one driver, the driver out of Norman, Oklahoma. He will come to pit road. This is Travis Minto coming to pit road. He's going to bring Tim Combs along with him. And this is Bruce Potter coming down. All 3 of those drivers going to come to pit road. Eric Johnson getting passed up by, that's the driver of the 989 entry, the National Guard entry here tonight. That is Jenkins. That's Rob Jenkins. And look at pit road. It is absolutely a busy place here. Here comes Terry. Oh, the 33 of Eric Johnson going to lock it up. Almost missing pit road. Eric Johnson almost missed the entry to pit road. He did get it low down, but pit road is a sure busy place here right now. All these drivers coming down. It looks like about 15 drivers just came to pit road. That leaves Mark Jenkins in the Jenkins Construction LLC, number 999, out front here. No, he's trying to come to pit road, and he bobbled it. Here comes James Skillen. He'll hop the trot along with Zach Mitchell. Pit road can be a busy, busy place. Sometimes you see drivers leaving, drivers coming in here. Everybody's got to mind their P's and Q's. Listen to their spotters. One driver who has not come to pit road, according to our timing and scoring, this is the number 2 of Joshua Buckley. It looks like he missed his pit stall, so he had come down pit road, but now he's going to go all the way through. He's going to have to come back here. This is not what this crew wanted. As here, now he peels off the banking. Josh Buckley will come to pit road. Untimely mistake for Josh Buckley. He'll come down. He'll be a little bit off the pace. It's going to be a 4-tire stop and fuel for him. Let's see. This is the crew. Let's see if we can ride on board here with Josh Buckley. This is him coming down pit road just at the last second. You saw it on the left side of the screen. Just missed his pit stall. Watch it right there. 3, 2, 1 on the left. And, oh, he missed it. Just missed it. So he'll roll through pit road. He did get down to pit road. But boy, is it going to be a costly mistake. This is your race leader as you ride on board with him. Got about a 1-second lead. This is Max Terriel. There you see him come by our camera, and there's second place, Brandon Feeney. Feeney pitted a handful of laps before everybody else here tonight. So Brandon Feeney jumping a bunch of positions here, trying to get himself off sequence a little bit. The Big Cheese CarQuest entry, the driver out of Canada, races legends and hobby stock. They call them the four-bangers up there. Also has himself a late model up in Canada. Runs a handful of series and races depending where he can get to. And he's a one-man band. He's the mechanic, he's the crew chief, and he's the driver. He also drives the tow rig every week to the racetrack. And, well, we know what kind of toll that can take on you when you're trying to pretty much fund and do all the operations yourself. Brandon Feeney, though, here when he comes to the iRacing.com platform, well, he runs pretty solid. He's been getting better and better every week, and now he finds himself running inside the top 10. He's a rookie candidate this season here with the Scrambler Series. Richard Murdoch sits there running P3. He's got Joe Strano in the green Forest Tree Supply, number 43. Tongue twisted up here. He is running in P number 4. Doug Neal also picking up a bunch of spots here into this green flag pit cycle. He runs 5th. Richard Murdoch is now going to get to the inside of Feeney. Feeney doesn't really show that much aggression there to try and hold that position. He knows he's on a little bit of a different sequence. Taking a look at our timing and scoring sheets here. Fastest on and off pit road, and it's the Brandon Feeney entry. It was a 14.3 2-second stop for him. The only other driver to break down there into the below 14 bracket, that is Mark Jenkins. And actually, being told there's a third one, and that's Chris Hammond right there. You see him. He's running in position number 6. Chris Hammett, Brandon Feeney, Mark Jenkins, all of them running inside that top 7, having themselves blistering pit stops. Also being told, no pit road penalties except for the man back here in this number 2. Joshua Buckley, we talked about him and his untimely mistake there. He is the only driver currently 1 lap down on the timing and scoring charts, other than the driver out of this event, the driver at number 31 of Michael Trevarthen. DJ Anderson getting around the 909 of Thomas Talent. Right there also, Sean Single, so a little bit of a 3 truck. Oh! Talent and Single gonna make contact. Single gonna go down off the racing surface. Both drivers are gonna hang on to it, but boy, that could have been real ugly real quick. So Thomas Talent will hang on to 16th, 17th there for the driver out of Ayer, Massachusetts, that Sean Single. Let's go back here and watch this. The truck says we have this one. This is coming off the corner. See the 2 drivers come together. Talent's going to hit the outside wall. Single goes down to the inside, just off the racing surface, but he saves it, and both drivers keep him pointed in the right direction. Well, Max Terriot still out front, race fans, and take a look at the timing and scoring charts. He has extended this race lead. He has now got about a 3-second lead over these 2 drivers running 2 and 3. That's Richard Murdoch and Joe Strano. Looks like Sean Single has rebounded here. He'll work to the inside on Thomas Talent. He'll take that position now away. Thomas Talent going to try and do a little bit of crossover move out of turn number 4. Not going to happen. The Mechanics Advisor F-150 got it tuned up here tonight. Ryan O'Donnell, he's still out here running. He's running back into the 20th position currently. He's running about 12 seconds behind the race leader, almost a half a track behind currently. Right ahead of him is the driver out of Elizabethville, Pennsylvania. It's Christopher Rothrock. Looks like Michael Trevarthen just rejoining us, and I believe he's sitting down on pit road. We'll see if Michael Trevarthen can get back out here on the speedway. He's been having some computer issues the last couple of weeks, and it looks like it's still plaguing him here. Travis Minto was your pole sitter coming into tonight. Right now, he's just hanging on to the top 10 because here comes Rob Jenkins to the outside. As you just see the 24 Zach Mitchell get around. If you follow the Red Light Racing Series, you know Zach Mitchell was a rookie last season. Got to drop the 9 off the car. Take a look at our timing and scoring. You know how to tell if it's a rookie or not? Well, that's because you see there's a 2-digit number there on the 24. And there you see it's the 989 of Jenkins, and there's the 919 of Minto. That indicates to not only us race fans that they are rookies, but it also lets you guys out there find where the rookies are running on the speedway. There is one other driver with a triple-digit number, and he hails out of Canada. That's the Hot Wheels driver. That's the Newcastle Australian, Kevin O'Brien. He likes to be a little bit different. I guess the guys from down under, well, they're used to those V8 supercars, and, well, those boys are just bat crazy. We're using the word bat because we can't use what we really want to use. Just check them out on YouTube. Type in anything that has to do with cars in Australia. They like to put about 2,000 horsepower into a Yugo and just do line locks up and down the streets. And holy cow, how any of those Australians live, I don't know. I'd be scared out of my pants to do what they do. Well, the Australians are crazy, and the Canadians, like Max Terriel, they just wake up and say, are you silly? Because I'm still going to send it. 3.5-second lead for Max Terriel, so nothing has changed towards the front of this battle. Or towards the front of the field as we watch this battle here. This is Justin Gann. Remember, Gann got into the outside wall just before that green flag pit cycle started. So that RB Custom Rigs Toyota that had the quick time in practice session is currently running 16th as he holds off the strong charge from Thomas Talent right now. Jason Wells back here also. We haven't heard much from Wells tonight. Been a very quiet night. Wells currently comes in here in about, I believe that's we'll call it the 6th position, the highest running non-win driver this season. Had himself a handful of podiums. He podiumed last week at Talladega. He podiumed back at Kentucky. And he podiumed at the Iowa Speedway. Had a very disappointing 29th finish back at Darlington and a 15th place finish back at Michigan. So it's been a pretty decent year. It's either been pretty much a podium finish for Wells or on the hooks back to the garage. He got around Thomas Talent there. Brian O'Donnell now going to set his sights on Thomas Talent to see if he could come up and possibly take him. Look how focused Brian O'Donnell is right now. We can't even see his eyes. He's wearing a smoked shield here tonight because the sun in Las Vegas is very bright. Track temperature here tonight hovering into the triple digits as we're racing under the daytime conditions. You know, our crew tells us we have this pretty sweet new video to play for your race fans, presented by Ryan O'Donnell in collaboration with Sean Single. The truck says they had it queued up. Let's take a quick look at it. Cool little video presented for Ryan O'Donnell by Sean Single. So, pretty cool little intro video for the Turbo Dork Radical Paints driver. The driver out of Canton, Michigan. Right now runs back here in the 20th position, still trying to get around that 909 entry. Thomas Talent still holding on to it. A couple drivers have made their pit stops, like, well, Brandon Feeney. He came down pit road. He made his second pit stop of the night. So he falls back into our timing and scoring charts into the 27th position. We'll see if he can work his way back up. It does look like one driver trying to come out onto the Speedway, race fans. The crowd goes wild as Michael Trevarthen makes his official return back to the Speedway. And it looks like they have got all the gremlins out of this 31 Ford. Or, well, maybe not. Maybe not. Michael Trevarthen back to pit road. iRacing says no go, Captain Slow. And, well, another driver back to pit road. Here comes the Simbox driver once again, the driver of that number 77. Tim Combs also going to come to pit road here. Nothing has changed out front in the top 6 positions. Skelton, well, he's trying to run down Tim Williams. Actually, sorry, he's trying to run down Chris Hammett. Looking at the driver behind him is Tim Williams. There you see the iRacing paint job. That's Bob Higgins. Driver out of Massachusetts, the owner-operator of the Checker Flag Auto Supply. Driving that iRacing sponsored entry here tonight in Las Vegas. Bruce Potter coming to pit road once again. It's his second pit stop of the evening. Just over that halfway point, Max Terriot going to now duck to pit road. Murdoch going to come with him. Strano's going to hot to trot right behind him. Nobody slides a tire, but picking up the race lead. Driver out of Virginia, Mark Jenkins. So green flag pit cycle number 2 is underway, and we notice that our good friend Sean Butler is tuning in, the driver of the 88 out of the Gen X stables. And, you know, we got to really, as your leaders come to pit road here, we got to, you know, wish and hope that, Sean, you're doing well. We know you had your surgery just a little bit earlier on today, and tuning in here on the Ridley Racing Network. Watch some of your competitors here in the RV Custom Rig Scrambler Series with Red Light Racing. We wish you were out here, and we wish you a fast and speedy recovery from your back surgery so you can climb back in the old sim rig and be comfortable, unlike Granny Hips Buckley. Talking about old Granny Hips, where is he? Where's the granny? There she is. Now, race fans, we don't have it queued up in our trailer here tonight, but Joshua Buckley has a brand new logo that was presented to him. Ryan O'Donnell, the guy who's right there in front of him in that Turbo Radical paint entry, made him a beautiful Granny Hips Buckley walkers and canes and accessories logo. We'll see if we can get that for you in the next couple of days here as he comes to pit road. I also heard his competitors out here did something pretty cool. They took his logo and... oh, hold on. It says I'm not supposed to tell you guys. Stop reading it right there. All I can say is there is something that's going to be being mailed, I heard, to Massachusetts in the next couple of days. So, as you see that draft top, Granny Hips coming out of pit road. We'll wait for him to get it and then tell all your race fans what it is. But as everything cycles back through, the driver of the number 42 is out of Canada. Back to the point. Extended that race lead. It's now a 4.37 second gap over Richard Murdoch and then Joe Strano. Joe Strano came out about a second behind Richard Murdoch, and he's actually starting to pull him back in. He's faster currently. My scoring is telling me he is chewing in to Richard Murdoch's little bit of a 1 second lead he has. Yes, does he have a bit of the draft from Richard Murdoch's 01 entry? Yes, he does. There you see our roof camera tonight on board the Green Forest Resupply Chevrolet. One driver that came to pit road that spent a little bit extra time in his pit stall. That's the driver out of Virginia. This is Rob Jenkins in that National Guard sponsor 989. He spent 20 seconds, so he's going to lose a ton of ground down there on pit road. Another driver that had himself a lackluster pit stop is the driver out of Ayer, Massachusetts, and that's going to knock him 1 lap behind on the timing and scoring sheets. So right now, Sean Single is a lap down, running back into the 27th position. There you see Travis Minto also right here in this mix. Minto still running inside the top 10 as he battles with Williams. Williams to the outside in that Rev Esports entry. Zach Mitchell also part of this battle. One driver that did pick up a spot under the green flag pit cycle, that's James Skelton. He picked up that 5th position from Mark Jenkins, so they just flip-flop the 5th and 6th position. Now Joe Strano, who is quicker, he will duck to the inside here, and he'll look to get to the inside and around of Richard Murdoch. Right now he's there, he's got the inside line, and he will go right on by. Max Terriot continuing to extend his lead. Now it's almost 5 seconds up the road, and Zach Mitchell still back here, battling it up. Zach Mitchell, Tim Williams, Travis Minto. As these two battle, though, Eric Johnson and Ethan Troutman are both starting to work their way into position to possibly get up here and battle with those drivers. I mean, it's not over with yet. I mean, oh, Sean Single into the outside wall. The driver of the number 11 out of Ayer, Massachusetts, going to go up. He'll scrape the wall with his Ford, and he'll look to come to pit road. He's going to miss pit road. Compounding problems here for the number 11, Sean Single. He's going to fall like a rock to the timing and scoring. He's already one lap down here, just past the halfway mark, and it's a long road to hoe from this point forward for the driver out of Ayer, Massachusetts. So he'll fall back, and Ryan O'Donnell looking to pick up a spot here on Brandon Feeney. Will he be able to take that spot, though, is going to be the question. Well, there it is. Ryan O'Donnell picks that position up and just says, see you later. Looks like Brandon Feeney, actually, he's coming to pit road right here. The Big Cheese, Mr. Cheese with K1 Graphics, Liquid Molly, Cheese at entry here tonight, will come to pit road. Looks like this is his actual third time coming to pit road. Joe Strano, Richard Murdoch still running nose to tail. Nobody able to get away from each other currently. These two are just stuck together like peanut butter and jelly currently. We'll see which one can shake who first. Travis Minto up the track, though he's going to lose a bunch of spots. There goes Troutman, there goes DJ Anderson. So Minto back to running 13th now. Doug Neal also on the outside there in his sim box number 77. He's going to lose a couple positions. Doug Neal, just the other day, I saw a post on a bunch of the Facebook iRacing pages. He was giving away a free sim rig. Not only does Doug Neal do a lot for the iRacing community with his company Simbox making button boxes, he also gave away a free sim rig. As I say free, as it was used, yes, as he had used it for a couple years and now he had upgraded, so he was just giving back to the community some more and gave it away for free. It was a free pickup. I'm not sure who actually dropped by the Georgia area to pick that up, but I did see it was posted free to a good home. Right now, Doug back running into the 13th position. Just behind him by a little bit, that's the driver out of Pennsylvania, Christopher Rothrock in the Renaissance Nutrition, number 84. He's being stalked by the Alienware Logitech driver. That is Jason Wells. Well, this group of cars is the closest group to really each other, and that's, you know, Johnson, Williams, Anderson, Troutman, Minto, and Neal. Next time by for this driver out of Canada, Max just setting on a blistering pace tonight. Does anybody have any tricks up their sleeves that they could possibly come battle with the 42? Being told the reason that Brandon Feeney came to pit road, as you can see the right side of that number 938 entry, hard contact out of turn number 2. He gets around the number 40 of Rob Higgins. Yes, race fans, you did hear me right when I said Rob Higgins, as that's the driver of the number 40, and then we have the 941 of Bob Higgins. Don't get them confused. Yes, it is a father and son duo out there for the Higgins out of the Massachusetts area. Right now, Rob is running into the 24th position as Bob Higgins brings his 941 down the pit road. Now, there is another group of family members out there. There is Rob Jenkins out here. You see him driving the 989. And then you see Mark Jenkins. You know, we haven't actually got these two to fill out our information sheet here yet for Red Light Racing, so I'm not sure if it's a father-son team or a brothers combination. But right now, both Jenkins are on the lead lap. Mark is the better of the two at the time, as he is running up into the 6th position. Rob's running back into the 19th spot here, respectively, right now. Still a lot of racing to go. Anything can happen. Christopher Rothrock just ducked underneath Doug Neal, and now he'll say goodbye and see if he can drive away. See that draft bring back the number 77 of Neal as they work down into the corner, and then Neal overshoots the corner a little bit. That's going to open up the door for Wells. Wells going to stick his Chevrolet nose down there out of turn number 4. Not going to have any room, though, to do anything with it. Max Terrell working into some lap traffic just out ahead of him. That's the number 59 of Bruce Potter. That's the 938 of Brandon Feeney. Tim Combs is also up the road there, so he's got to get moving. Kevin O'Brien also a little bit, a couple seconds up farther than Tim Combs, but green flag pit cycles will be coming here in the next couple of laps. I believe we would have to make it to about 70 lap marker to make it the rest of the way on fuel. So we'll see if all these drivers can go at least 5 more laps. It'll be 4 more laps technically for this driver. Max Terrell will come by. He has led all but 5 laps here tonight. DJ Anderson has reeled in Tim Williams. Will he be able to get around him before his green flag pit cycle? On board here with the BK Paints entry. Looks like DJ Anderson has a little damage to that Mountain Dew Baja Blast nose piece. Not sure if it's really hurting him here tonight or not. Still has a car, well, a truck that's inside the top 10. Eric Johnson inside the top 10 with Troutman just behind. Joshua Buckley hasn't been able to make any headway on his penalty self-inflicted wound that he had. Of course, he does have that right side damage. That's not helping him here tonight. He's trying to run down the number 11 of Sean Single and about 2 corners, about 10 seconds behind. Right now, our highest running rookie here tonight is the driver of this 906 entry. That's Chris Hammond. A competitor that's raced for, I believe it has been the last 2.5 seasons on Thursday night with the SK Modified Series, with the Checker Flag Auto Supply Modified Series. Now competing here as a rookie on a Monday night. But he's hanging pretty strong. And there you see the 86. That's James Skelton. Skelton is closed up on Chris Hammond. But the green flag pit cycle is about to start as 2 drivers have just come down pit road. And going to be 4 tires of fuel. There's Wells. He'll be out of his pit box and on the way. Tim Combs getting 4 tires and possibly some damages. Now he'll be slow to come out of pit road. He spent a little extra time down there to make sure that tank was topped off. Max Terrell will come to pit road. It'll be his final time. There you see the 42 down pit road. Joe Strano coming down pit road. Hammond. Skelton's hard on the binders. A couple other drivers all coming down. So the timing and scoring is going to jump around for a couple moments while everything cycles back through. Richard Murdoch taking the top spot. I just saw Murdoch the other day on Facebook post a picture of some snow. Hoping that he could one day see a bunch of that snow again. You know, snow is happening pretty regularly all over the country anymore. It's not really a freak accident. Maybe South Carolina might be next on the list, considering Texas is getting some snow right now, and power outages all over that state, along with Oklahoma and Missouri getting hammered also. So it's not just us northeast states that are getting hammered. I believe right now anywhere. California, I think race fans might be getting some snow too. I know Northern California, like the Redding, California area, they do get a bunch of snow. Maybe Southern California can get some snow. Looks like the 62 of Troutman will make his final pit stop. Waiting on a handful of drivers to cycle back through. It looks like Anderson, O'Donnell, and Kevin O'Brien. And actually, here comes Ryan O'Donnell. He's going to bring down that turbo door entry. So he'll bring it to pit road. When will DJ Anderson, though, say enough is enough? You do notice his name does light up in green. Well, what does that mean? Well, that means that he has won a race, and as long as he completes, I believe it is, 80% before the chase, he will be entered into the championship playoff race. as he'll bring it to pit road. That leaves the one, the only Kevin O'Brien, as he'll slayer down off the banking. There you see that green Chevrolet, the 184. He will be the final driver to make his final pit stop here tonight. Well, we can officially say Michael Trevarthen has called it a night, and there's one driver that looks like he has had to make a pass-through penalty or stop in the box, and that's the driver of the 989 of Rob Jenkins. He had himself a top 15 run going, and I believe it was a pit lane commitment line issue there for that driver. So that's going to knock him down to the 28th position. That's not where you want to run after having a solid run here tonight. So as everything cycles back through, it's Max Terriel leading here in Las Vegas. 17 laps to go. There you see the 43 of Joe Strano. He's running about a cool calm 6.5 seconds back. He's got about a 1.5 seconds over old Richard Murdoch, and Murdoch's got his buddy. Two South Carolina drivers battling it out right here. That is the number 86 is Skelton. Skelton will slide up in front of Murdoch. Murdoch going to try and cross him over, though, out of turn number 4. 16 laps to go. This is the battle for the 3rd position. Don't count out old Chris Hammond. He's right there also. So it's a Chevrolet running 3rd. It's a Toyota running in 4th. And it is a Ford running there in the 5th position. Remember how we said those Chevrolets dominated the top 11 spots? Well, now take a look at it. 60 laps later, this is how it looks like. Chevrolet, Chevrolet, Toyota, Ford, Chevrolet, 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 and you get the picture from there through that top, looks like 15 positions being dominated pretty much. So 13 out of 15 positions are Chevrolet drivers. As this battle still continues to happen. I'm going to go on a limb here, race fans. 15 to go. Chris Hammond's going to take this podium spot from these two drivers because these two are not going to lay down. They're not going to roll over from each other. Friends off the racetrack, friends on the racetrack. I believe it's when the helmets are on, the gloves are on, it's enemies on the track. Both drivers racing for two different organizations here with Red Light Racing. You got a Need for Speed driver and a Full Throttle Racing driver. Full Throttle for that 01 of Richard Murdoch, and the Need for Speed Motorsports organization for James Skelton. Looks like Chris Hammond has fallen off this group. We'll see if he can rebound here, as those two are really going at it for a while. They will have to contend with some lap traffic, and it looks like they have actually started to pull back in Joe Strano just a little bit. Just a couple tenths of a second, actually. It hasn't been a whole heck of a lot. But every little tenth, every little millisecond out there on the speedway. Just the tweak of an entry could really give up a bunch of time on exit. And I talked about trying to battle with somebody there as the 43. If Strano had to get around the number 59 of Bruce Potter, that was 0.3 of a second given back to Richard Murdoch. Because he's going to have to deal with some of that same lap traffic, though. Tim Combs out here trying to get around the Brandon Feeney entry. Feeney with a weird angle into turn number 3. Combs going to keep the Mopar Chevrolet wound up to the outside. Brandon Feeney, remember, he is off the pit sequence. He's going to bring it to pit road. This will be his actual final stop with 11 laps to go. I'm hearing it's just going to be fuel only for the driver of that 938. See if he can get back out there and still retain some of his positions. Looks like Bob Higgins has to make his final stop also. This time by, though, at the line, it's that double high five here in Las Vegas. Max Terriel, 10 laps to go, 6.6 second lead over Joe Strano, and Strano better get going. Don't look in the mirror. Yeah, right now he sees that he has 2 lap cars behind him, but Richard Murdoch is coming, and he's coming in a hurry. It's another 1.5 tenths that time off. keep a close eye here. We'll take a look at our scoring pylon once again when these drivers come through to see how much time Joe Strano has. He's got the Hungry Wolves behind him. Let's see, at the line, it's about 1.1 seconds, so another 10.5 off. There you see Bob Higgins coming up onto the speedway. It looks like he's going to stay low and try and let these guys go past. A couple laps down for the driver out of Ayer, Massachusetts. Joe Strano has to go to the outside there. As you see, Kevin O'Brien with the newer tires. Here comes Thomas Talent now to the inside. Both drivers have fresher tires than the 43 of Strano. So Strano just kind of in a downward spiral here. Can't run the line that he really wants to run. As Richard Murdoch, tick-tock, says old Dick Doc, he is coming. Richard Murdoch is reeling back in Joe Strano. Under a second. Can he get there? Is it the little train that could? 7 laps to go, this time by for Richard Murdoch. There you see one car in between him and Joe Strano right now. It's under a second and closing. Don't forget about James Skelton. He's right there. He's working the inside of the speedway under Bruce Potter. And then Chris Hammett also right there. Eric Johnson back here battling with DJ Anderson. Remember, Anderson was one of the last drivers to come to pit road. DJ Anderson right now running 10th, looking to pick up another spot from Travis Minto. Minto going to slide high out of the corner. Will DJ Anderson be able to slide through? He will not. He'll have to fall in line, but he's going to get a good tow down the front straightaway. Down into 1. Will he look to the inside? He will. Almost 3 wide there as Eric Johnson is up against the Kyle Larson line, up against the outside fence here at Las Vegas. So now Minto will lose 1 to the inside as Anderson gets by. Now here comes that 33 of Eric Johnson. He'll get by. And he's got to watch out because Wells is also lurking in the background. Could he come by? 5 laps to go, this time by at the start-finish line. As it was 5 laps, literally, call it 4 or 5 seconds ago for those drivers. Now it's 4 laps to go here in the desert. The sun is hot here tonight, as the pace is even hotter for Max Terriol. 7-second lead over Joe Strano. Richard Murdoch back there, running also about 1 second. He got to about a second gap deficit to that 43, and then Murdoch has not been able to close ever since. He is in dirty air right now behind the 909 of Thomas Talent. Talent running into the 21st position. So Murdoch gets around Thomas Talent. And he has not actually lost any ground while making that pass, but he'll have 3 laps to go to make up 1 second. Zach Mitchell has caught Mark Jenkins. That's the battle for the 6th position. Can the Jenkins construction entry hold off the Rich DPCs number 24 of Zach Mitchell? Zach Mitchell will work to the inside of the speedway here on Mark Jenkins, as it's going to be 2 to go for these two this time by at the line. As it's 2 to go for them. Down the back straightaway, 1.5 laps to go for Max Terriol. Right now, he is hoping he can just get to the white flag. Out of turn 4, he'll look up at the flag stand, and it'll be 1 lap to go. Presented by the Checkered Flag Auto Supply. 1 lap to go here in Las Vegas. 1.5 miles of racing here for Max Terriol. He already has 1 win on the season, locked himself into the championship hunt. He won back at the Kentucky Speedway. He podiumed at Auto Club, finished 4th last week at Talladega, finished 2nd at Iowa. Tonight, he'll pick up win number 2 as he'll come off turn number 4 here at Las Vegas. The checkered flag is up. Max Terriol will go gambling here in Las Vegas and win He picks up P number 1. The battle for P number 2 will go to Joe Strano. Richard Murdoch will finish on the podium here tonight. He'll finish 3rd. Battle out of turn number 4 here for the 6th position. Drag race. Is it going to be the 24 or the 99? Mark Jenkins will pick up 6th here tonight, just edging out by 1/1000th of a second over Zach Mitchell. Tim Williams will come home in 8th. DJ Anderson 9th. Rounding up the top 10 is Eric Johnson. There's your winner, though, tonight. Max Terriel will Parker in victory lane for the 2nd time this season. Green to checkered here in Las Vegas. What a race it was. Max Terriel leading all but 10 laps here tonight. And those laps he didn't lead, well, those were all under the green flag pit cycle. Of course, race fans, the unofficial results scrolling on the left-hand side of your screen. See where your favorite driver, of course, finished here before we head into our post-race show tonight, brought to us by Renaissance Nutrition. Our top 3 finishers are here along with us tonight, so we should be able to pick up a, well, 3 interviews for all you race fans at least. So don't go anywhere. Max Terriel is going to burn it down, and we'll be back here at Las Vegas with your Renaissance Nutrition post-race show. Welcome back here, race fans, to the Las Vegas Motor Speedway tonight here for the RB Custom Rigs Scrambler Series presented by Red Light Racing. All these drivers headed here into the desert at Las Vegas, and boy, was it one man gambling, and he bet everything on red. And Max, you're here in victory lane once again. You're picking up your 2nd win of the season. Boy, did you just put a whooping up on this field.
Yeah, how about that? Green flag all the way. We've been due for a while, so it feels good to have lots of green flag pit stops. And yeah, it was all about tire wear. Last night's practice, I learned a lot. Raced with James, and needed to work a little bit more tonight, and couldn't ask for a better race.
An absolutely beautiful race, not just by yourself, but all 29 drivers who came into this. Last night you ran the practice race, though. What did you really learn? Las Vegas, especially during the daytime, chews up tires. How did you save tires here tonight and still continue to turn some of the fastest laps?
Clean air, that's the name of the game with these trucks, or from the last few seasons. Once I was able to get by Travis at the start, I used up a little bit of tire for a couple of laps, but after that I stayed in the middle lane just to save a little bit, and then got a gap on Richard and Joe. And from that point on, I knew I needed to not push too much, especially on the exit of 4. And on the long run, that's where I could make up like 1/10 here and there. And that's, I mean, with 90 green flag laps, it makes up for a whole lot in the end.
Well, it did make up for a whole lot, as I believe it was, well, it was a huge gap. Let's just put it that way, back to Joe Strano and Richard Murdoch. Well, we're going to stay out here on the West Coast, Max, and we're not going to turn just left anymore. Next week, Sonoma Raceway. It's the first time the Red Light Racing Series has headed to Sonoma in, well, I believe it's about 3 actual years since the last time a race was held at the Sonoma Raceway. How do you feel about going to wine country?
It'll be completely different with the new layout. First time we'll be racing there. It's high horsepower with very tight corners. For the limited amount of testing that I did, it's all about throttle control and being very fine on corner exits. And I'm sure that if you can keep your car, those that can keep their cars on the racetrack and not too much in the dirt, they'll be in for a good finish.
Well, Max, before we let you go testing here tonight, the red carpet is out, the microphone is yours. Who makes it all possible?
Yeah, my girlfriend, my friend Max at Maxim Knitting, and my dad. They're all watching the races on Turn 3 Network. To Josh, James, and Richard for running this Monday night RB Custom Rigs Scrambler series. And a shout out to all the guys tonight. Caution-free race. It was not easy racing side by side. The truck got tight, but kudos to all of them for racing clean. And we'll see you guys next week.
Well, there you hear it, race fans, from the driver that wins here in Las Vegas, picking up his second win of the season. His trophy will sit on the mantle right next to the one that he won back at the Kentucky Speedway. Max Terriel now going to go back to the Las Vegas Strip, and he'll gamble a little bit more here tonight before we head down to wine country. I'm sure he'll take some of his winnings and buy some of the most expensive wine down there in the Napa Valley. But let's head now to the next driver, the driver who finishes second here tonight out of Wisconsin. This is Joe Strano. Joe, a second place finish. This Green Forest Race Supply machine had a lot of horsepower under the hood. It looked like you were able to pass drivers at will all over the speedway.
Yeah, we definitely brought a great truck this week. Put a lot of practice in earlier this week. Raced the practice race last night with, like Max was talking about, really got an understanding of what this truck does in the draft, and just got the corner exits down. I think that was the biggest thing, is once you got the corner exits down, you could have a pretty fast truck out here.
And you had that truck. You ran down Richard Murdoch there. I believe that was after our last green flag pit cycle, and you got around him and you just set sail. He did start to close back up in the final 10 laps, but he got to his second, and then you guys started to get that lap traffic. Were you just able to clear lap traffic a little bit cleaner, a little bit faster?
It's actually a lot where I lost a little bit of space. You had some guys that pitted a little bit later than I did. They just had a little bit more speed in the trucks just from tire wear, and they were pulling a draft off of me and trying to make passes on me. So I was losing time to Richard every single time I was getting passed by a lap truck. But they managed to figure it all out, and we just got single file there, and I was able to keep some distance, and just was watching how close he was and just making sure I kept the gap.
Yeah, and you were able to manage that gap and then hold on to it to finish tonight. Now, you heard us talk to the 42 of Max Terriel about heading to Sonoma. You yourself, not one of those drivers that are typically known for your road course skills, but I know you've been practicing a lot this past off season. Are we going to see a good, clean run in wine country for you?
I think the key words is good and clean run. That's all I can ask for. Max made a comment that if you can keep your car out of the dirt, you're pretty much guaranteed a good finish, because the track is just so easy to make a mistake on. There's just so much horsepower under the hood in those Cup cars in that high horsepower package that you hit your throttle just a little bit wrong coming out of the corner exit and you just spin it right around. So it's just going to be a matter of going in there, being consistent, taking lap after lap, and just taking care of the car and seeing where we end up.
Well, you were able to take care of this truck here tonight. You finished second in Las Vegas. Are you going to hit the Strip? Are you going to Old Vegas or the Las Vegas Strip?
Oh, we got to take it to the new Strip. It's beautiful out there.
Well, I can vouch for that. I was just out there a couple years ago, and it is absolutely beautiful. Can't wait to go back. But tonight, Joe, you will dance to a podium finish here in Las Vegas. Check out one of those clubs out there and start dancing tonight 24/7. But before you do that, who's on the truck?
Big shout out to Green Forest Tree Supply. They're with us on both Monday and Thursday nights. GreenForestTreeSupply.com. Get Draft Top and Victory Junction on the truck here. And then all the family and support that we get for Strano Brothers Racing. I know my mom's watching, my grandma's watching, and Janet, if she's watching. My dad, my wife's right behind me here, my brother, my teammates. We just got a lot of people supporting us. So thank you to all of them. Thank you up in the booth, Roger. And thanks, Josh, Richard, and James for putting it on.
Well, there you hear it from the family organization, the Strano Brothers Racing number 43 of Joe Strano. He will finish second here tonight in Las Vegas. Maybe he's headed back to the hotel room. No partying, no gambling for him. But I know the next driver that we have coming up here, race fans, you can bet he is going to the casino after this one. Murdoch, what do you say? Where are we going? The MGM?
We'll go wherever you want tonight, Roger, but what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. Just remember that rule for me, buddy.
I have a very short-term memory. I don't even know what you're talking about. All I can read is the notes that the director just passed along to me, and Richard leading 1 lap tonight and running in the top 3 all evening long, not counting the green flag pit cycles, but this truck spent 50 laps inside, or not 50, sorry. I'm reading that completely wrong. I can almost read the notes here. It was actually 70 laps inside the top 3. Where did the speed come from here tonight in this Adventure in Pixels 01?
Well, I learned a lot last night, kind of backing the corners up a little bit. I was driving too hot, and then the big thing was I learned last night, don't hit the wall. If you have a nice clean truck, it'll typically drive faster, and then just staying in a draft. You don't really have to push it hard. You get a pretty good draft on the straightaways and coming out of corners. So just backing the corners up and taking it easy, taking care of your tires and your truck, and just having a good time with it.
Well, now you said keeping the truck clean and not banging it up here tonight. This paint job on this 01 is pretty iconic at this point for you. Talk to us about this truck and how well it handles with the backing you have.
So the Flames, they took forever for me to finally get trading paint. So I had the Flames for a couple years, and I said, you know what, guys, I'm not going to get rid of them. So when Adventure in Pixels came on, I just asked Ryan, my teammate, to make it work with the paint scheme, and he threw Adventure in Pixels on there for me. My buddy's photography business out there in Colorado Springs, Colorado, and I think I'll probably have it forever, other than throwback races, because that's just kind of my thing now.
Well, at this point, can you not throw back to yourself in this as a throwback?
Oh, we don't need to talk about age here.
Oh,
Roger.
We were going that far. Oh, well, at that point, I lost my hair a long time ago.
Yeah, I'm not there yet.
We're stopped with the
it,
dad jokes and the hair and the age. But tonight, Murdoch, another solid podium finish here. This is really going to propel you up into the points. You haven't picked up a win yet. In the last couple of seasons, you've always been able to sneak one out somewhere along the line. Let's take a look. We've already heard about Sonoma from your other competitors. We got Atlanta and Richmond before the chase starts here. Can we possibly put the Xfinity car or this Gander Outdoor truck into victory lane before the postseason?
Well, Richmond is definitely out. I'm not great at that track at all. Atlanta, I'm pretty good at, so I'll definitely put a lot of work in there. I think next week in Sonoma, I'll probably just go straight and slam the wall and end it early in turn 1. Now I'm going to put a lot of practice into that one, too. I've never raced there ever, so it should be interesting.
Well, I can tell you, if you need a lot of laps, start with the street stock. They are very enjoyable out there. And I'll also give you a little tidbit. Turn 1 at Sonoma, if you full send it up the hill, you can skyrocket right up to the space station.
Well, I'll try and put on a good show and get up there. Just make sure you watch it.
Well, you put on one here tonight, Richard. 3rd place, who makes it all possible. A lot of fans out there tonight tuning in to watch you in this 01 machine.
Yeah, I got to thank my buddy Jeremy and my friend Katie out there in Colorado again with Adventure in Pixels and let me throw it on my truck and cars. And then my dad and brother Michael up in Chester, South Carolina. They're always tuning in. And then here local, my Uncle Steve, my buddy Doug Roberts, my buddy Frank Franklin, and my daughter's teacher and her husband, Mark and Jennifer James. I appreciate them for tuning in. And my Uncle Gary in California, I appreciate it. And then tonight, I think my biggest spectator was James Skelton. He was back there watching me a lot. I appreciate him.
Oh, I sense a little sarcasm there, but I believe now at this point, Richard might owe James a camping trip, race fans, as that you just heard there. Maybe a little shot across the bow of James's boat from the camper of Richard Murdoch as they finish 3rd and 4th respectively here tonight. There you heard it, though, from Richard Murdoch. He'll now go and try and see what James Skelton's going to have to say about that one. We'll watch the Twitter feeds over the next couple of hours to see if there's any shot back across here. Good old friends having a good old battle out there tonight. That's what it is all about here on iRacing, is coming out here on a Monday or even a Thursday if you compete into the Thursday night SK Modified Series, which just wrapped up the other day. Richard Murdoch was part of that race also, and well, Murdoch picks up a podium finish. Let's take a quick look here at our results. Our results, of course, unofficial here tonight, but this is how they look unofficially after Las Vegas. You heard from your top 3 drivers there: Skelton, Hammett, Mark Jenkins, Zach Mitchell, Tim Williams, DJ Anderson, and Eric Johnson round out the top 10. But boy, what a race it was. Continue to look through that scoring there to find where your favorite driver has finished here tonight. So, you heard we are going to wine country. It's Napa Valley. It's the Sonoma Raceway on February 22nd. We will head there for 40 laps of right and left-hand turns. Which one of these drivers will put on their road course ringer ability and, well, have themselves a clean race? That's what we're going to watch for just next week when we head to Sonoma, but we also have the Atlanta Motor Speedway coming up after that. We whip out the old Xfinity cars before we head to a 1-mile track down at the Richmond Raceway. We get the Gander Outdoor trucks back out for the final time before we go playoff racing. 150 laps on the docket there on March the 8th. But those are the next 3 races here on a Monday night. No Thursday night SK Modified series as we are in the off season officially for the next couple of weeks. That'll be back in about 5 weeks time right here as we have re-upped for that next short track racing series. So we're excited to bring you more red light racing in a couple weeks on Thursday night. But for all of us here at the RB Custom Rig Scrambler series and red light racing and all of us here at the Turn 3 Racing Network, we know the weather that's rolling across the United States right now and up into Canada. We hope all of our viewers that are tuning in out there are safe, and we cannot wait to see you at the races, race fans. So everybody stay safe, and we'll see you just next week at the virtual Sonoma Raceway.